Welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to a 1987 interview with Denzel Washington on his movie Cry Freedom. Now let me be honest with you about something. I've never seen the movie, so let me know in the comments, is it worth watching? But before we get started, I want you to consider checking out my other YouTube channel. The link will be in the description box below. Help me get this video up to 500 likes, and as always, don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.
When you and others in black consciousness speak,
The trial sequence in Cry Freedom was more than just a bit in a movie. It was an opportunity for Denzel Washington to apply some of the research that he'd done to the personal character and charisma of Steve Biko.
We refer to people like Mandela, Sobukwe, people like Govan Mbeki.
and is it not true that the common factor with these people is that they have advocated violence against the South African government?
The common factor with these people is that they have selflessly pushed forward the struggle of the black man.
What did you learn about Steve Biko that maybe wasn't included in the dialogue, that wasn't included in the action, but was part of your characterization that as we watch the film, we sort of say, yeah, I see that underlying tone or quality?
Good question. I mean, because I tried to bring as many of those aspects to it as I could. If there was one thing, like I remember a guy told me a story about there were two groups when Steve was in college. There were two different organizations who were trying to get together on a way to present their argument to the college about their being treated unfair by the government. And they were having this big argument going back and forth. And Steve was the type of guy who would sit in the back of the room and just listen. Just listen. He's not a podium type guy. He would sit in the back and just listen. And then finally they said, well, look, Steve, why don't you give us something? And such an intelligent man, had such a knowledge of history. In that particular argument, he started his argument by going back in time and talking about whatever the points he made to.
Let me know something in the comments. He was talking about someone that has a certain level of intelligence. Let me know if you have anyone in your family that resembles the description of what he's talking about,
To then bring out why these two groups should be together. And the guy who told me the story, who was one of the arguing groups, he said, by the time he finished, he said, we forgot what it was we were even arguing about. We were just sitting there listening to him. And there was an opportunity to bring that aspect of his personality, but there wasn't a specific scene like that in the film.
I guess did you get the impression that he was able to win crowds by the power of his speech or by the power of his mind in the argument?
Yeah, I think it's more the power of his mind and the honesty of his argument.
So, your answer to this so-called naked terrorism is to provoke violence in the black.
Yeah, call me crazy, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but when I see this man, you know who I see? I see the butler from Batman. I mean, it could be him, maybe a depiction of him. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
Community.
No, our movement seeks to avoid violence.
But your own words call for direct confrontation.
That's right. We demand confrontation.
Isn't that a demand for violence?
Well, you and I are now in confrontation, but I see no violence. Basically, what he was about was making people feel better about themselves, trying to build up their self-esteem, trying to get them to get interested or reinterested in their own culture and their own history that they weren't allowed to find out a lot about because of the way the system is in South Africa. His single-minded purpose, I think, is what made him so great. He wasn't concerned about what people thought about him. He was concerned about what people thought about themselves.
If you do survive, you grow up in these streets, these houses. Your parents try, but in the end, you only get the education the white man will give you. Then you go to the city to work or shop, and you see their streets, their cars, their houses, and you begin to feel there is something not quite right about yourself, about your humanity.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Judging by the scenes that I've seen within this interview, it does make me kind of want to watch the movie. Let me know, truly, is the movie worth the watch?
Something to do with your blackness. Because no matter how dumb or smart a white child is, he is born into that world. But you, the black child, smart or dumb, you are born into this. And smart or dumb, you'll die in it.
Well, that's it. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this video. And also, if you actually made it to the very end, put "Cry Freedom" in the comments to give me some kind of understanding that you actually watched all of it. But as always, don't forget to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.